This is Drew Calloway. I'm mostly known as Detective Drew by friends. Before I was discovered by Norman Sase, who would later recruit me, I was the star of this show called James Hond. The letter A has the short sound. The show went on for just one season because I suddenly grew weary of the role, but that did not make me regret signing up in the first place. The viewership of the show caused Norman Sase to hear about me, predicting that I would not star in anything else after James Hond. He found me, and then he asked me for help. I like helping others, so I said yes. That was when everything changed for me. I was beginning to figure out what Sase had planned at that time. Putting the pieces together, I realized something. Norman Sase was going to find a paper containing why we celebrate Christmas. I know what you're going to say. We have the internet. Even Locke thought that plan was the dumbest thing he thought of, but he had to roll with what was given. I was then assigned tasks by him to go undercover as who you know me as right now. A detective. I would be the one searching for him. Well, by him, I mean his shadow. I actually never have seen him until he decided to show himself later on. I came across some others who say they are going to find the paper, so I waited until Locke came to their place. I then explained myself to them, and they felt betrayed. Seeing that one guy's face made me go into a moment of life decisions. Is this the life I want to live? Will what I do leave an impact? Will I be an influence? If I was a real detective, that might happen. So I officially became Detective Drew. I even threw my boss Locke out the door, which actually gave him a concussion. I was worried at the time, but at the same time, I knew what I was doing. All we had left was Sase and his lover, Olivia. It was incredibly stupid that those guys did not do it at the start, but at the end they hummed the first Noel and Sase recognized the tune, and then he finally showed himself. Everything felt normal, and this Christmas was holly jolly, but not too holly jolly. Sometime after Christmas, Sase was found by the police and brought in for questioning. There were some things he confessed, and one of them was that I was a minion of his. And then he escaped. Assuming that I made the call to bring him in, he felt betrayed and left me behind. Despite what Sase confessed, Captain Flipboard trusts me because of the qualities I have. He said he wanted more detectives like me. That one little sentence made me feel like I made the right choice at Christmas. A few minutes later, the mayor, Carl Dutchman, brought in this highly trained assassin, Chrome. This one individual is unlike anyone else I've seen. The silver pellet is the explanation. Chrome's task was to find Sase and complete his mission. And then maybe, just maybe, he might come for me next. After several years of being on the streets, I went back home. What I expected to be a great big family reunion was the total opposite. My father, Sean, and my sister, Jem, were not too surprised to see me. It sounded obvious, but that had to do with what the news said about me. Instead of being worried for me, they were not welcoming. Mostly my father. And then I was back to being on the streets. I came across this laboratory run by someone named Bruce, who made this impressive yet generic invention that can transport anyone to an alternate universe. I went in for a second, and Bruce did a little test. We were then transported to an alternate universe. I recognized this place, but not that crab and bowl sitting on the bed.
Dale, Dale, daylight come and we want to go home.
Excuse me! You're one of them. Bruce recognized her. She was actually her student a long time ago for a science course, yet something sounded different about her. His best guess was vocal surgery. He also guessed the same about some giant. After that bizarre experience, I was out alone at night, until I noticed something. There was a shadow. Could it be Norman Sase, only to be hunted down by Chrome?
Listen here, detective. He is not your problem. It's time you make a little change to your obsession and obsess on someone else. Soon, Norman Sase will be no more. If you try to get in my way again, you will wish you did not.
Sase may have done some harsh things in the past, but he does not deserve this. I saw a genuine redemption in him. There was only one thing left to do. I told Locks that what I had planned was a stage play based on the events of the Christmas incident. At first, he did not fall for that, but he did say that it does have potential. His role will be voiceover. I wrote out what he had to say, and then I recorded him reading the lines. I then apologized for throwing him out into the snow. He said nothing. I went to these guys' house to find out if Sase was hiding here. Only to find Chrome coming out of the bathroom with blood on the floor.
Don't expect what you see.
It was horrifying. This was a nightmare. I'm cursed with this image stuck in my mind. Chrome has assassinated Norman Sase. His mission was complete. Am I next? Mayor Dutchman imprisoned me for assisting Sase, leaving with this statement.
I can see why James Hunt only had one season.
Luckily, I dropped something in that house. A bear found it, alongside a cow. They then made a plan. What up? It turned out they needed some backup, and they knew just who to get. Someone I never heard of, but these guys did. Don't be alarmed. We have a favor to ask. Just do this one thing for us, and you will not hear from us again. You're all the help we need, Empress. The two were out on the streets at night, waiting for Chrome to make an appearance. They were ready, only to find out Norman Sase was alive. It turns out he is seeking revenge for Olivia's demise.
Oh, Olivia, you never fail to make me happy, right?
I appreciate your help.
Hey, no problem. It's what we do. How did we help?
You found my target.
Hey, where's all this Justice League nonsense coming from? You there! This should help.
Do you really think it's that easy to stop me? Is something wrong with your sight? Could you see me up there? Right now, you will regret what you did.
What I'm about to do, I won't. Not what I had in mind, but this is helpful. Glad to hear. Now hand it over. I don't want another big baddie coming here. The bear and the cow were familiar with the name, but to get Sase to trust them, they said they knew those guys that tried to take that paper away from him. They went on many adventures together in the past. They then went to Captain Flipbird, only to find out that the mail was there as well. Sorry to disturb you, Captain, but we have something we think you should listen to. The thing I wrote for Lox to say was that he used me and Norman Sase to get what he wanted. He even threatened us that if we do not succeed, then he has some plans for the two of us. I find it hard to believe that Lox believed a lie like this. It was worth it.
How did you two know Lux?
I thought you were not familiar with the guy.
Oh no, that was the name of my roommate. It's the name I'm familiar with.
You're gonna have to do better than that. It turns out that Lox was the mayor's puppet all along. He should learn how to keep his mouth shut next time. After that, I was free to go. All of Sase's choices were dropped. Votes went in for a new mayor. The reinforcement never showed its face around here again. And Sase prepared a funeral for Olivia. I was not the only one that attended, even though I never got the chance to know her more. I knew one thing. They were both perfect for each other. This was when we both finally decided to go our separate ways. Despite everything feeling normal now, something still seemed to be missing. I still had that feeling like I lost the battle I've been fighting for so long. I wanted to tell my father about what Lox said about me, but then he would say that I made him say those things. He's not wrong though. This is where I am right now. A detective, out in the streets, homeless, keeping an eye out on the citizens. Soon I will find a way to be reunited. I hope you find a way too, Mother.
can show you the world.
Jim, can you come help me out with the sink?
Yes, I can.
Must be hard, isn't it? As long as something good happens, and I'm a part of it, it can be done. What do you suppose that is? All I know is, when it comes to saving the world, we need James Hond. It's a long story, but I don't feel like going over it a second time. That's fine.